Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. This is Melissa from Encore Business Solutions, and we've got Alex here today from Tasklet. Hi there, Alex.
Hey, I am just getting ready to pull up my PowerPoint slide. Alrighty. And Melissa,
Sounds
can you see
good.
my screen right now?
Yes, I can see your PowerPoint.
Okay, perfect. So this is where I'll start today. Like Melissa said, guys, my name is Alex Escovi with Tasklet Factory. I sit out of our Tampa, Florida office, and we are headquartered out of Aalborg, Denmark. I'm just going to go over a quick PowerPoint with you guys. It should only take about 5-10 minutes, probably less than 10, probably more like 5 minutes. Just to go over a company profile and then kind of describe where we're at in the marketplace and some of our customer base, and then describe how our solution integrates with 365 F&O and AWAX. So a quick company overview or agenda here, and I'll put this into.
Alex, do you want to switch to presentation mode? Just
Yep.
so you know, I can see the slides. All right, awesome.
There we go.
Perfect.
Okay. So here is the agenda, company profile. I'll go over the Tasklet Factory value proposition, the technology slide, like I mentioned. This will be how we integrate with the Microsoft Dynamics F&O and AWAX ERP systems, and then I'll get into the demo. So quick company overview. Some of these might be a little bit outdated, actually. We've actually been in business for 12 plus years now. We are a mobile WMS warehouse management system specifically for the Dynamics products, so we don't integrate with other ERP systems such as Oracle or Acumatica, stuff like that. We don't integrate with those, so it is specifically a mobile WMS solution for the Dynamics products, and in this case, AWAX and F&O. We do have multiple customers on F&O now, so we've seen some of our customers translate from the on-prem to the cloud versions, from AWAX or older versions of AWAX to now F&O, which is getting some, increasing interest from people as they want to switch to the cloud. We do have well over 500 customers now. I think we're about over 700 customers actually in total in over 30 countries, so our customer base has grown pretty significantly in the last couple of years, especially since we started up a US office here in Tampa about 2 years ago. And then we have offices, like I mentioned, in Denmark, which is where we're headquartered, and then I sit out of our Tampa, Florida US office. Here's a quick value proposition. So these are just 4 quick points that I think some of them you'll see within the demo, and I'll try to describe. But the user friendliness with our solution. So if anybody is familiar with Microsoft's out-of-the-box solution that used to be Blue Horseshoe's old product that Microsoft purchased, which is called WAX or AWAX, so Advanced Warehousing for AWAX or F&O is kind of what that stands for, the abbreviation. That is a totally different look and feel to our solution. The user interface is not what we would consider a very friendly, easy to use or easy to navigate user interface for the end users, the warehouse workers, to use on a daily basis. It's kind of like you're looking into the ERP system, on a PC or a laptop, more than a mobile application that is easier to use and more fit for a mobile device. Not saying it's a bad solution. It does have its place in the marketplace. We're obviously competitors with that, but it's, for the companies that need the advanced warehousing that offers and the robust functionality that offers. If you have a more simple warehouse, if you're using just standard stuff within the WMS part of AWAX or F&O, so like receiving, putting items away, picking, inventory counting, item movements, stuff like that, then that's where our solution is a very, very good fit for your needs. And you don't need all the robust stuff that the advanced warehousing does, because I think it's oftentimes overkill. And sometimes what the partners or Microsoft will push on the end users, because that is their solution. So this is kind of a good alternative to that if you don't need all of that extra functionality and you want to keep things more simple. And then the other few points here, we are installed within just 2 days. That's to get a test environment set up, and then from there we would move things over to production to get you guys live. But to get the test environment set up and you guys playing around with the devices and the objects installed, it typically takes us about 2 days. So it's a very quick turnaround time, and that's what we bill for. And then our solution is easy to customize. Excuse me. So we do have customers, very, very large customers in the AWAX and F&O space with 300 plus licenses. So, they're operating on 300 plus mobile devices, multiple warehouses, different locations. Some of them are using them, in a back office type of environment and in a warehouse environment. So it just depends how you want to use it. But we see a lot of different customers of different sizes that need different functionality that maybe out of the box our solution does not offer. So we do are able to make customizations to the solution as long as that's been done in the ERP system first. So our functionality basically just reflects what's been done in the ERP system. So there's a lot of different customizations people have made, especially like within the retail industry. So just to know, if you don't see it out of the box, it doesn't mean that we can't customize the solution. And then we do have on and offline functionality, and I'll try to show this in the demo where you can go offline and actually still do the barcode scanning. You don't have to be connected to Wi-Fi to do the barcode scanning. Once the lines or order lines have been downloaded to the mobile device, you can actually go offline and scan in items and register them into inventory. Okay, and then here's the technology slide. You should kind of ignore these two operating systems here. I probably should have removed them. Right now, we're just integrating on Android operating system. So all the mobile devices that are supported by us are on an Android operating system. We used to integrate with Windows Mobile and Windows Embedded Handheld. We've moved almost all of our customers off those legacy systems, and now they're on Android currently. So, if you're going to use our solution, it's going to be on an Android operating system and on a device like a Zebra or Honeywell device, like one I'm going to demo on today, that will be supporting an Android operating system. And then the application, it's a .NET application written in C#, and then how we communicate with the ERP server is via web services. And then in the upper right-hand corner, you can see the different versions that we integrate with AWAX and F&O. So the newest versions of F&O, obviously the cloud version up to the newest version that's come out. And then for the AWAX versions, you can see that we go back a ways there up to the newest version. And in the bottom right-hand corner is a device management system. So I'll show you guys this in the demo. It's actually how I do the demos, remote control the devices. So this is something that we host for you guys, and then we kind of resell. Mobi Controls the company, and then their product is called, the product is called Mobi Control. The company is called SODI. So they have a device management system that you'll get with our solution. You'll be able to remote control the devices, and it's actually how we usually do support issues or support tickets, to be able to look into what's going on. So you can, we can remote control the devices, or we can push out new software, move basically devices between testing and production environments. So it's, that's going to be a big part of what you guys use, and you guys will get access to this as well. In terms of the PowerPoint, that's pretty much what I wanted to present. So I'll come out of this and click into, my demo environment now. Okay, so here's the mobile device that I have in my hand currently. So this is a Honeywell CT60 product. It's a little bit bigger than an iPhone. It has the barcode scanner up here, and you couldn't see it, but it's at the top. So if you were basically just to point the device to the product and then use these two little side panels, you can click on one or both at the same time to actually scan the barcode. That's how this device works. It does have a hard-coded backing, so it is a ruggedized device, even though it is touchscreen. So this is kind of more for a simple warehouse environment. For example, there's a lot of these devices that are around nowadays, and Zebra and Honeywell devices. And this runs at about $1,300 to $1,400 per mobile device. So just a little bit about the device there. It's not going to be something that's good for a cold storage or freezer type of environment, but it is something that's good for just a standard warehouse environment. That's not going to be banged around too much. I mean, it's ruggedized, so it can take a beating, but this isn't going to be something that's going to be able to get run over by a forklift and survive that. So something that's more of an easy, managed warehouse environment where it's not going to take too much of a beating, and it's also not, going to be in some type of freezer or cold storage environment, then this may be a good option for you guys. Right now on the software part of it, so you can see here, it's our mobile WMS solution. And I may not have mentioned this yet, this is our only solution. So what I'm demoing today is all that we focus on. So we don't have a shipping product. We don't do anything on the accounting or reporting side. It's just the WMS part. So this is where all of our energy is focused, and this is a solution, that we support and come up with upgrades with. So, we're a one product shop, where some other solutions out there might have, multiple different stacks or multiple different products that they also focus on. This is the only thing that we do focus on. Okay. To get into the demo, I'll, start by showing you receive, but I probably won't have time to go over every single piece of functionality. We have quite a bit of new functionality on here, because we just came out with a newer release recently on the AWAX and F&O side, which you can see there's quite a bit of different functionality. I'll try to show you the main stuff. So receiving, picking, counting, unplanned move, unplanned count, location content, locate item, the basic stuff that basically most of our customers would use or prospects are interested in. And then I can go over a couple of the other newer features like print labels, so printing barcode labels or packing slips, taking pictures or item images and attaching them as attachment to the item card, stuff like that. So some other nice to have features as well. Like I said, I won't go over everything, but I'll try to get over most of the features in here so you can have a good idea of what our solution can do. So this is the receive order. So basically what I've done right here is just click into receive, and now I can see all of the POs that I need to receive. The first thing that I'll do is click on our filter option in the upper right hand corner. So there's only a couple different filter options here. You can filter on the warehouse, so if you have multiple different warehouses, you're going to want to make sure whatever warehouse you're in that you're filtering on that one. And then the delivery date. So this can be, you can set it for tomorrow, a week from now, whatever, but likely it's going to be today, and it shows you all of the receive orders up to today as well. So if there was anything outstanding on the mobile device that didn't get completed, it will stay there. It's not going to go away until somebody on the ERP system has either canceled the order and you refresh it, or you've basically completed it and posted the order. So it'll show other ones from the days before as well, up to today. And we'll apply the filter. And now the filter's applied and the POs are coming up. So instead of clicking into a PO to see what you need to receive, you can actually just start by scanning an item barcode, and then it will take you into that PO. If it's on more than one PO, it'll detect the POs that it's on, and then you can choose from that point what PO you want to go into, and at least you're going to know what you're expected to get in there, and that item that you scan will be in that PO. So I'll start by scanning my first item. Okay, that item, it detected it was only on one PO. You could see it found it, and it just took me right into the PO. And then it also shows all the other items in here that you need to receive. But the one that I scanned was the oranges. This is the one that got me in here. So now that I'm within the PO, I'll scan the item so I can get on the item card. And then from this point, it's going to ask me to scan a location. And if you do have this set up to where you want the expected location to pop up so the warehouse worker knows where to put that, then it can be, you can have the expected location there. This is more of a configuration or settings thing, depending on if you want that to say that, or if you want them to be able just to scan whatever location they want. But if it is set up this way, you can have the expected location so they know where to put it away. And then I'm going to enter the quantity that I am putting onto this location. And this can be changed to 5, 6, whatever you need to change it to. I'll keep that as 10, hit enter. And then once you've received the inventory for a specific item, it gives you that green line or hash next to that, just meaning that you have received the inventory for that specific item. And now for this next item, I'll just show you basically what you can do. And the use case I give here is, okay, all 12 pieces of the pistachios can't actually fit on the 0301 location. So what can I do with the other 6 that need to go onto a different location, because maybe that location is unexpectedly too full. So if I scan my pistachios, I'll scan the location where I want to put 6 of them. So I'll change this to 6, hit enter, and then it gives me that orangish yellowish color next to the item, just meaning that I haven't put all 12 away yet. I'll scan the item in again, and then I'll scan my new location. So I'm splitting the item between 2 different locations now. There's going to be a message that pops up that just says, hey, you scanned a different location than expected. Do you still want to use it anyways? You'll just hit yes that you do, and then verify the quantity you want to put onto the new location. Now, if I want to make sure that I did everything correctly and scan the correct locations, I can do a long hold on this item for about 1 second. There's going to be this sub menu option that pops up, and there's actually a lot of things in here. But for this specific instance, I'm going to click on registrations. And whenever you click on registrations after doing a long hold, it'll give you this information of what's been registered on the mobile device so far before you actually post it. So you can do this for counting, you can do this for picking. It's good for item movements and stuff like that. So you can see what's already been registered. So if anything doesn't look right, maybe I didn't scan the correct location, I can actually do a long hold on this and then delete the line or the registration and then start that process over again. Okay, so you can delete a line, a registration, anything that's been done on the mobile device so far can basically be undone, and then you can restart the process over. So it's not just, I messed up, I can't undo anything. You can, always edit or, delete a transaction and then start from scratch again if you need to. Okay, and now if anybody uses lot numbers or serial numbers, this would be a good chance to take a look here, because our peppermints are lot number tracked. So I'll scan my item in. I'm going to scan the location that I'm putting it away on. Or sorry, so if you use batch numbers, I'm used to NAV Business Central, but they call them batch numbers in F&O. So if you guys use batch numbers, obviously this is big for the food and beverage industry. If you guys use F&O or AWAX or are looking into that ERP system, batch numbers will be something that you guys will probably utilize with expiration dates. So you'll scan the batch number, and then you're going to verify the quantity that you're placing. Yep, onto that location. So that, it's just going to basically ask you to scan a batch number. That's the only extra step with it when you're receiving orders. So if you guys do use the batch numbers, you're still going to scan the item number, the regular barcode, and then it'll ask you to scan the specific batch number as well. This next item is serial barcoded, so you can see the individual serial barcodes that are going to be scanned here. So I'll scan my item barcode, scan the location, and now I have to scan each individual serial barcode here. Now, if I scan the same one twice, it will give me an error message. It won't let me scan that in. There we go. So it does make sure that you're scanning, the expected values that actually need to be scanned. You can't just, willy-nilly scan a serial barcode and it registers it, knows what serial barcode needs to be scanned. So I'll scan my final one. Okay, and then once I've finished everything within an order transaction, a message always will pop up that asks you if you want to post the order. I'll hit yes that I do want to post it. If you guys utilize packing slips or will, you can, and if those are barcoded, you can scan that barcode, or you can manually enter a packing slip number. Type in pack 1. Okay, and then, this is the posting process. So once you've completed everything, it auto prompts you to post. You'll hit post, use the packing slip, and then you get a verification message that the product receipt was completed. And then that PO will now have been removed from the mobile device, and the warehouse worker can either click into the next PO or start by scanning the next item. Okay, so I'll back out of this here. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, and that's receive in a nutshell there. Something else I should probably mention, once you're in here within receive, and especially when you're within the PO, is when you can go offline. I'd like to give an instance, I guess, where there's more than one item because it'd be more useful. So for instance, here's 2 different items, but maybe you had 10 or 20 different items, and now you go into some cold storage, a freezer environment, or a spot in the warehouse that doesn't have good Wi-Fi. So now let's say I disconnect from Wi-Fi, I can do all of the barcode scanning offline. So all of this stuff, and maybe there's 20 different items, and that's really when it comes in handy. All the lines have already been downloaded to the mobile device, so you do not need that Wi-Fi or cellular data connection to then do the barcode scanning. So do all of the barcode scanning offline, and then the only time you need to be online is when you're posting something or trying to get the information from the ERP system to the mobile device. Okay, so maybe you only have certain hotspots where you can connect to Wi-Fi and then refresh or update our software, or if you're going to post something. But all of that barcode scanning can be done offline. That is a differentiator between us and Microsoft's out-of-the-box solution. You do need that constant internet connection. Last time I checked, to be able to, so unless they've done something new, you don't have the offline capabilities that we do when being able to basically click and do an order, go off Wi-Fi, go up, no cellular data connection, and then be able to do all the barcode scanning offline. So that's for receive orders. I mean, you can do it basically for any of the other order-based transactions. So like for pick or count, when the order lines are already downloaded to the mobile device, that's when you can do the barcode scanning offline. For our next functionality, I'll show you guys pick. So, oftentimes the picks, this is for a production order, for example. So it's just showing you kind of different options that you can pull the data from AWAX or F&O. It doesn't just have to be for sales orders. Obviously, typically a lot of our customers use the pick order functionality based on the sales orders in the ERP system. But you can do it for production orders. You can do it, right here, I mean, as a PO. There's a lot of different stuff that you can do pick orders from. Another thing that you could pull from would be like a transfer order. So transferring something between one warehouse location to another warehouse location. So that would be a transfer order, and it would probably show up and say here, transfer order. So you would be able to know, what the order is. Maybe it's a sales order, transfer order, production order. There's different things that you can actually pull the information from. I'll click into the third one here. That's a sales order. For this sales order, there's only one product, and these should be serial barcoded. So it gives you the item number there and the quantity that we need to pick. So you just start by scanning in the item, very similar to the process I just showed for receive. You're going to scan the location that you're taking the item from. And then I have to scan each individual serial barcode here because these are serialized. Okay, and then once that's done, it's going to auto prompt me to post the order again. And if I do want to click on this and then go to registrations, again, I can see what has been registered on the mobile device. There we go. We can see the barcodes that I actually did scan. So if there was a batch number and expiration date that you guys entered, that kind of comes in handy too, because you can also see the batch and expiration date. So maybe if you're in the food and beverage industry and you use those will show up here as well. And this is just to make sure, you know, the item number's there, the serial barcode I scanned in is correct. And again, if you need to delete it, you can always delete the registration too. Okay. So that's picking. I will move on to counting. There's two different count features now. We have count and unplanned count. So the main difference between count and unplanned count is the count feature is what I consider a planned count, where this is typically used for cycle counting for a lot of our customers or prospects that are looking into our solutions. So, you know, if you guys need to do that on a quarterly basis, biannual, annual basis, whatever, and create all of the items or inventory that you want to take account of, and then click in here so the warehouse worker can come in and run through all of the items that they need to take account of, then they can do that. If you don't want to create a count order for something or get the updated inventory count for something, then you can do the unplanned count. And that's kind of where the unplanned count comes in. That's really for ad hoc counting. When you don't want to create a whole count order for something, maybe you're not going to be using it for cycle counting and you wanted to get an updated inventory count for something kind of, you know, just on the fly. If maybe a warehouse manager doesn't want to create the count order from the journal entry in the ERP system, then that's what the unplanned count would be used for. So this process for the count order lines, again, is more so for cycle counting. And you can see if they have like a batch number, there's different stuff that you can add here, size, so different dimension type of stuff that you can add in the descriptions. But the process for the barcode scanning here is basically just what I showed earlier. So start by scanning an item. You'll scan the location, and then you're going to verify the quantity that you took account of. So this is set up as a blind count. That's just a configuration setting. It doesn't have to be like that. This could say 0 out of 20, for example, if you don't want it to be a blind count and kind of have that expected count in there to what they already know what needs to be in there. I would think most people would probably want to set it up as a blind count though, so the warehouse worker could actually take the true inventory and then manually enter that. Okay, and then they can go on to their next item. So that's what the count feature looks like. Back out of here, and now I'll show you guys unplanned count. So the only thing you need to filter on with the unplanned count, and obviously this looks a little different when clicking into it compared to receive, pick, or count, because you're not, you know, when you're clicking into count, for example, you're seeing all of the order lines already on here that you need to go take account of, where the unplanned count is something you're starting on the mobile device. It's not coming, the information or data is not coming from the ERP system. It's starting on the mobile device, and then you're sending that information to the ERP system. So it's kind of in reverse there. So it's, you know, extending functionality in a way that the plan features just don't do. So you need to filter on warehouse. So we'll say that we're in warehouse 22. We'll start by scanning an item that we want to count. Scan our pistachios. We're going to scan the location that the item is on. And then we're going to enter the quantity for the item. We'll just say 5, enter it. Okay, and now you can see the counting journal was successfully posted. So it does depend also how you have it set up, and it's probably worthy to mention that the count will post back to a journal entry first, where the unplanned count, depending on how you set it up, would directly affect the inventory and would actually skip the journal process. So when it's posted to the journal process, somebody can obviously look over that journal and then post the journals to where it affects the inventory, where this may directly affect the inventory depending on how you have it set up. Most of our customers, you know, are a little hesitant to have this directly affect the inventory and have the warehouse workers so easily be able to affect the inventory, excuse me, when they have the option to post it to a journal first. So from what I know, it's just a setting or a configuration to where you guys would need to set this up to where it's posting back to a journal entry, kind of like count would, and then whoever's, you know, warehouse manager, whoever's operating on the PC side can look in F&O or AX and see the journal entry and then post that as the inventory. Okay. So that is count and unplanned count. I'll show you guys unplanned move now. So if you guys need to move inventory between two different locations, that's what this is for. So this is not for moving between two different warehouses or warehouse locations. These are just two different locations, bins, whatever you want to call them, that you're scanning and you're moving it within the same warehouse. Okay, so I'll scan my first item. So I'm going to say that I want to move, and that was for the pistachios that I scanned, and now I'm going to enter the location that these are on currently, and then verify the quantity that I want to move. We'll put 2, hit enter, and now we're going to walk over to our new location and scan that barcode. Okay, and then once it's been done, the transfer journal is successfully updated. So that inventory, will be updated. That will be taken out from one location, and it will update that information in AWAX or F&O. If I was to try to move too many that actually weren't there, it'll come up with an error message because the system knows how many is in inventory. So it's not like somebody could just move 100 if 100 aren't actually there. They're only going to be able to move what's there and what the ERP system is tracked for the inventory already. Okay. So that's unplanned move. I can go over location, content, and then locate item very quickly. These are just kind of nice to have features to get a good sense of where things are at in your warehouse. So location content, only thing you need to do here is filter on what warehouse you're in. So again, we'll say we're in warehouse 22. You'll scan the location. And once you scan a location, it'll just give you all of the items and inventory that is in this specific location. So, if there's more than one item, obviously this one has a lot. It'll show all of the items that are in this location, and then it will show the inventory count that's in the location. And what this means, the 167 out of 167 means there's really 167 available for picking currently, and then 167 physically there in inventory. So the second 167 is what's physically in inventory right now, and then the first 167 is available for what's picking. So I don't know if there's any that have a discrepancy here. No, doesn't look like it. Sometimes, and depending on the demo environment, if I had a different one, sometimes it'll be like 162 out of 167, meaning that maybe there's a sales order or somebody's getting ready to pick. There's a pick order out for 5 of these pieces at that specific location. So it'll say 162 out of 167, which is good to know. So, whoever's looking in there might know that there's a sales order out or a pick order out for that item in that location. Okay, and then locate item. So same process. This is just kind of in reverse of location content. You're scanning an item, and then it's showing you all of the locations that item is on. So scanning my item, I scan my pistachios here, and now it's showing me all of the different locations that it's on, and then the inventory count that's on each location. And you can see here for this item, now this is a good example. It says 1 out of 3. So, good example or a good chance there's a sales order out here for this item on this specific location. Okay, so that is locate item. Some of the other features I can go over here with you and that might be relevant are print label and then register item image. So these two are, this one's not as new, but it's fairly newer. And then print label is something that is very new with our solution on AWAX and F&O, printing out barcode labels right from the mobile device. I'll show you how it's done here within this feature and then how it's actually integrated in something like Receive, where you're actually using the print label within a different functionality. So I'll click into print label. Yep, so you just need to filter on the warehouse you're in. And again, I'll choose warehouse 22. And then all of these are already kind of queued up for, things that need to be printed out. So if I click into one of these, here's an item label that needs to be printed. So if I click into this, it'll give me, whatever, this is just a generic name, but the item label, and it might be a specific one. So then it asks you the printer name. So if there's multiple options here, you can choose your printer. And this one, is done via Bluetooth. So we'll click the printer that we want to print out on. Then we'll scan an item number or, the item barcode that we actually want to print. So this is the item that we want to print, and then the number of copies that we want to print. And maybe we want to print 2. Okay, and then you'll hit the green check mark. Yeah, it's not set up for the demo environment to actually print right now, but then you would hit the green check mark, and then it would go print those copies and send the print job to the printer. So you can print right from the mobile device. It is a very good feature. I don't know if a lot of our competitors have this feature readily available for F&O. And then how you would actually use this within a different functionality. So if I click in receive and I go into one of my POs and I'll go to a specific item. So this is kind of where we see it being used practically outside of just using the feature, is if you do a long hold on the item like I did earlier, there's a sub menu option that'll come up, and then print label and attach image. There's other stuff in here as well that you can do, like register a barcode for that item, a new barcode. But if we do print label, yep, and then we could go in here, this is already queued up, but basically you could go in there right from, you know, that item within receive and print the label right from here. So if you need to print, you know, a new barcode label for that item for some reason, maybe it's damaged when you're receiving it, maybe it's not scanning correctly, and you guys have a printer readily available that you guys can use, you guys can print right from the mobile device, and it's very easy to be able to do. And you know, you can define the quantity. Maybe there's only one barcode you need to print, maybe you need to print out 10 barcodes for that item, then you can do that here. And the other one that's probably relevant to show now is attach image. So yeah, if I'm to show this, this is a pretty cool feature to show. So for this, and the instance that we would give is, you know, if something is damaged as you're receiving it and the warehouse worker wants to be able to capture that and then attach it to an item card, they can do that. So let's say that this item is damaged and they want to take a picture of that item to show that it's actually damaged or something wrong with it maybe. They can attach an item image here, so they'll just hit the little plus sign, and then it's actually going to show what I'm looking at. I'll take a picture of my phone real quick. So if they take a picture of their phone, this is the item, for example. We'll take a picture of that. We'll hit the check mark. You can enter a comment. So if it is damaged, you could say damaged. Hit enter, accept it, hit the green check mark. And now that item has been attached as an attachment, you know, to that item card. So now if something is wrong with this item, somebody can, you know, look on the item card and look at the attachments and see that somebody took a picture and verified it was damaged. I mean, there's different use cases. That's just one that I give. Maybe you guys just want to take pictures as items are coming in to prove how they looked when they got to the warehouse. It has different values for different users. So just to let you know, that's how you could use that feature inside of Receive, for example. Or Pick. Another instance would be Pick. So you're picking an item and the warehouse, you know, you have a process where the warehouse workers need to take a picture before it's getting shipped out to show how the item looked and have proof of how the item looked before it got shipped out. You could use that attach image feature for that as well. Okay, some of the other features on here, like register barcode, I can show you what this one is. We don't get too many questions about this one. This is a very cool feature though, where you can basically register a new barcode to an item that is not already registered. So you know, this would be like in the cross-reference field within AWAX or F&O. So adding different barcodes that can be scanned for an item. So it's not just that one barcode that is used for that item. You're adding a different barcode and associating it with that item. So if I scan an item number, you know, this is the item that I want to have a different barcode associated with it. It'll pull up the item here. The barcode setup. So obviously there's different types of barcodes. You know, if it's a GS1, a UPC, an EAN, a QR code, data matrix, you know, those are 2D barcodes, right? But depends on the barcode setup. You know, there's different ones that you guys can obviously add to this, but I'll just choose that it's an EAN 13. You'll scan the new barcode that you want to register. I don't have a new barcode. Actually, I'll try to scan one that's by me that isn't. Trying to pull one from the office here. So I'll scan a new barcode that has nothing to do with that item. Then you're going to verify the unit. So is this pieces? Is it in a box? You know, is it going by weight? We'll choose pieces. And then the quantity, I'll just choose 1, hit enter. And then basically that would register, and you can even see the verification there. But anyways, yeah, it needs to be you know, a barcode that's going to work for that item. But this barcode is now, if I was to scan that, you know, new barcode, that it would now register with that item that it did not before. So I'll try to, I know you can't see me do it. I'm going to try to scan the barcode that I tried to register and see if it'll work when I go within Receive. So if I scan that new barcode, Yeah. It hasn't done it yet. It doesn't look like it's registered yet, but that's what it would be for. So now that new barcode would be registered for the pistachios, and you could use that barcode going forward for that product. So that's what the registered barcode is for. Yeah, some of the other features in here, you know, quarantine orders, creating a quarantine order. I'm sure some of you guys in the F&O or AX space probably do that. We also have license plating. So this is brand new with our solution on our newest update. This used to have to be a customization. Now it is part of our standard solution to where you guys can use license plating with our solution, or actually move items between license plate. Yeah, during the receive functionality, scanning a license plate if those items are on a license plate. I haven't done it in the demo environment too much yet, so I won't show you guys, but just to let you know, we do have the license plating feature available and ready to use for you guys. I know not everybody uses it, but I do know within Microsoft's out of the box solution, that's, you know, within AWAX or that you know, WAX experience, that the license plate is a big part of that solution. So we wanted to make it kind of readily available for our customers now, because we've had a lot of inquiries about it. So if you guys do license plating, we can support it. You can create a license plate from the mobile device. You can move items. You can register them during the receive process. So I don't know if any of these items specifically are using license plates. I don't think they are. But like within receive, so if you're clicking into receive and you're scanning an item, you're scanning the location, the next process would be to here, maybe if this has a batch number associated with it, probably does, yeah, scan the batch, and then after you scan the batch, that's when you would scan the license plate. So it would just be another field or another barcode that you would have to scan when receiving items in, if you're receiving them with license plates. Now, if you don't have license plates already set up in your ERP system, you're not going to be able to use it on the mobile device. So that has to be something you would set up with Encore, for example, your partner, to then be able to use the license plates on the mobile device. So if you're interested in license plating and you don't do it yet, I would contact Encore about that to make sure that, you know, that's something that you guys want to do and move forward with, and then we could support that on the mobile device. Yeah, something else that might be relevant to show would be the profit loss journals. So I'll click into here, I'll click into my journal. Yeah, so this is if you wanted to create a profit loss journal. One of these is already set up here, and you can kind of see what it looks like. This has already been done, and it's showing what's been created. But the profit loss journal, if you're adding, basically wanting to add inventory or subtract inventory from a journal, you can do that with the profit loss journal. And how you would create the journal. So if I go in here, there's no data found because I haven't created the journal, and you can create the journal from the mobile device. If I do a long hold and then actually hit create profit loss journal here, you know, I can scan my item number that I want to use. I can enter the quantity. So let's enter 3. I'll hit enter. I'll scan the location. And then that successfully added, you know, inventory for that item to a journal, right, where somebody can then approve of that journal. You can do it in subtraction, you know, using negative adjustments or positive adjustments. This one is for positive adjustments. If you wanted to do it for negative adjustments, we've had a customization where it's all within one feature. We also have a negative adjustment feature on here, I think, if I can find that. There we go. So negative adjustments. So this would just be, you know, taking the items out of inventory basically and updating that to the journal. So scanning an item, scanning the location, and then entering the quantity that you want to negatively adjust. We'll put 2, hit enter. Yeah, looks like there might not be any in there, but that would be the process there. And again, if you're trying to do something in the inventory that's not allowing you to do so, if you're trying to negatively adjust inventory that's actually not even there, it won't let you do it. But if, you know, you need to adjust inventory, there is the profit loss journal where you can add the inventory, and then you have the negative adjustment here where you can take you know, items out of inventory as well. You just scan the item and then verify the quantity you want to remove. And like I mentioned before, so the top 2 are license plates inquiry and then movement by license plate. This is actually to generate a license plate from the mobile device. and this one is just a general one to give you license plate information. Okay, so there's a multitude of different things you can do with the license plate. You can create it, you can see what's on the license plate, you can move items, or move the license plates between different locations, or maybe I should say move different items between different license plates. So a lot of things you can do with the license plate part of it. I haven't demoed it enough to really show you guys, and it's very new with our solution, so I don't want to butcher anything by going over the license plate features. But again, if you guys have questions about it, we could actually take some time to go over it on a demo and really focus on it. Yeah, I've pretty much showed most of the things in here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to show for the demo today, Melissa. Yeah, I've showed everything that I wanted to show.
Okay, that sounds great. Sounds
Okay.
like we can probably wrap it up then.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, thanks very much, Alex.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good afternoon, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.